Negative, Lindsay.
Your face is negative.
This
I
is
have to look
very
at it
true.
all freaking day long.
I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. Nobody should have to be forced to do that.
I remember when we used to do like just audio. That was so much better. I didn't have to look at your
Was it
face.
so much better?
Yeah, I didn't have to look at your face.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
much
Well,
nicer.
I can take care of that if you want me to. Okay, there we go. Well,
No, that picture needs to go too.
I have to change the audio. I have to change the. Damn it. Okay.
There is one picture you can put up there.
Nope. I don't think he has it.
I mean, what Mo? What about if we did look?
Yeah,
No,
that's it.
no,
not that one.
picture.
I feel like even
okay.
though I look hideous, it's like I don't care because Devon is just
Mo,
so
Mo,
busty.
just show the picture. Just show the picture.
You think he has every picture on demand? He
You
probably
know,
does.
the one that you can marry people? Is that?
No,
is that?
Oh,
that's not the picture I'm looking
That's
at.
not the
no.
picture.
Huh.
No,
I mean, if it'll get us more views, that's it.
The testify.
that's not
up in
it
the corner?
either.
No.
No, there's a picture I remember of someone losing a bet
Huh.
Who's that? Who was that?
with
When was that?
a come spank me schoolgirl outfit on.
Whoa. Whoa.
Mo. Okay, let's see that picture of you.
I don't have that on demand, but I do wear that outfit often.
Yeah, I know. We know. So,
Good.
like during our pre-show meetings, it's like really distracting.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You have to look at my face and my spank me schoolgirl outfit. It's just I make things awkward. What can
And
I
then
say?
Devon keeps asking for it though, so I feel like that's cool.
For that.
What? For that picture of Mo in the schoolgirl outfit.
Table talk number 74. I am Mo. I'm sorry, my camera's on. Lindsay, we obviously know you're feisty today. Devon, how are you doing?
Hey, I got to get a new house.
Okay.
What's wrong with your current
Yeah,
house?
did something
there,
happen?
buddy?
Is it haunted?
Yeah,
Pretty nice to
no,
me.
it's not haunted. That's
Mm.
the least of my worries is the haunting. You
think
know,
it
when
is.
you get a house, and of course, you basically, you're like, oh man, no more worries. Yeah, bullshit. Listen, I got things happening in terms of things falling apart. You got to correct. I just got my duct system done. Cost me $6,800 to do.
For ducks?
For the duct
weird.
service, for the air conditioning duct.
I guess I never really understood ducks.
Yeah.
Like, you can get them at Tractor Supply.
I thought you only had
So-
gator systems down there.
Yeah.
Should I wish between that, then they're doing a whole lot of building of that. So with that, you're gonna get the rodents like the rats and stuff. We had like 3 big rats in our attic. We finally
Super
got them
rats.
done. I wish I would have had the mouse trap, but they ate the
I wish you
mouse.
had.
They were eating at the mouse trap.
I
They were
I
actually
thought maybe one of
eating
your
it.
kids actually took a bite out of that. It
No,
looked like it's what it looked like.
no, it was a mouse, and it was, gosh. And I'm just sitting up here going, "You got to be kidding me!" They actually ate the shingles. Devon has super rats. No, not really.
They're like
I did back in the Attitude Era, but I don't have them now.
Oh.
they're with the Ninja Turtles. They're like hanging out in the sewers.
Great duck system for sure. Well, I'm sorry you have to find a
it's-
new place. You can.
No,
You
I
can
don't
stay,
have to find one, but I
you can
just
stay
don't-
in my spare room if you want to.
Yeah, no.
My
Compared
shed's
to
always
your
available,
spare
too.
room, no, I ain't going to your shed.
Why?
There's
It's
no
nice.
telling what's in that shed. Yeah, nice for dead people.
I can you can have a flashlight. It'll be fine.
No. Mm-mm. No, I don't have to move. I mean, everything is good in the house. Then, I got it. But it's just, I don't want to. I've been here for 20 years. So, everything is just starting to fall apart now. And I was told by numerous people, usually when the house starts to fall apart like that, you usually go sell it and make it somebody else.
I can see that.
Probably
So-
why I got my house so cheap because it was falling apart.
There's so many different things. Like I was the one that had this house built from the ground up, and there were certain things that I wanted done and I didn't do because I was realized it would hide in the actual course of the house. I don't know. I could have done things so much different.
Super rats. That's really the
Yeah,
reason
but I
to
had-
Rats.
move. Yeah.
Super rat.
Well, no, that would be all the reasons for me to see.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Well,
Mhm.
good luck finding a new place whenever, wherever that may
I
happen.
look at it, maybe about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing. I gotta have I had my house, my roof redone, but I don't know if they didn't seal it right or what the guy said. So I'm gonna have the roofing company come over and take a look at that because I guess they're getting in from the palm trees. They're jumping from the palm trees to the house, and I had
Congrats.
I had the lawn guy actually cut the trees away from the house so they wouldn't be able to do that. But with all this construction
They're
going
super.
on,
They're super. They can
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah.
they're super. They can do all of that. They can bite
Jump.
through the shingles to get into the house.
Uh,
It's amazing, man.
we got a great
Listen,
suggestion here that Devon can move in with Teddy.
Yeah.
Listen, Keen Pay, stop talking. I'm
I-
moving in with no damn Teddy Long.
I want to go back to this comment real quick that John said that that we're his favorite podcasters. However, he completely takes away that compliment by saying, "FYI, the list is very limited. You get it by default."
Are we like your only podcasters?
I think that's what he's
'Cause
implying.
I feel
yeah.
like you set your standards very low, sir.
Yeah, but all the same, you could just say, "Hey, my favorite podcasters," and leave it at that.
Yeah. Good point.
You don't have
No.
to continue on with that thought.
People always have to add in and when they shouldn't add in.
Well,
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I get it. Like Devon, you were part of my favorite tag team after Edge and Christian, after Demolition, after the Headbangers. No, I'm kidding.
Devon, you're
You
my
do
favorite
know-
wrestler because I don't watch wrestling.
You do
You're
know
my
that
favorite.
both of you are coming within a month and a half. We're going to be doing a show from my house and fall asleep. And there will be at some point you'll be eating something out of my house. And if you do, you might not wake up until 48 hours later. So that way I'll have my way and do everything I want to do while you're sleeping. Just remember
Wow.
that.
Like that.
And
Tone of voice.
everybody heard that on the live stream. My life has been threatened, and
No,
something happens.
no. It wasn't
Man.
your life.
Getting
If
threatened
something
over here.
happens,
It was your eyebrows. It was your hair. It could be half of your beard be gone. You know, you just never know when you wake up.
Well, you might wake up with like a dead super rat head in your bed, and I don't know who that would be
if
from.
something happens, that guy. That guy.
Look at him. He looks so innocent. I can see right through
Because
it.
I am.
Yeah.
I
Well-
am innocent.
Well, let me say that we will test your innocence today. It is the ADA, the Ask Devon Anything, much like the AMAs that you've probably seen on Twitter or Reddit somewhere else, where you can ask somebody anything. Well, today is the
Ask
day
no
that
one.
Devon is going to open up about everything. So start thinking about what you want to ask our WWE Hall of Famer. With that said, of course, big news in the wrestling world today, where your company let go a few employees.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked at some of the names that I wish nothing but the best to Alistair, Buddy Murphy, Ruby, Braun. Has anybody been omitted? I don't know if there was anybody else.
Santana Garrett and Murphy.
Lieutenant Garrett and Murphy. Yeah, I said Merle. I look at it this way. All of those guys that were released, they're very talented, and I'm sure they'll find employment elsewhere, regardless to where they go, or regardless to what happened. I'm sure people will come to their company and work for them. So, I nothing but love for them. It was a pleasure working with Braun. It was a pleasure working with Murphy, Ruby. I never got to work with Santana. I got to work with Murphy on 205 Live. And Alistair, goodbye. It's just see you later. We'll see each other down the road again.
Absolutely.
That I can
It's a good outlet,
promise.
yeah.
Absolutely. Alistair, a former guest on Table Talk, and sort of
Former
kind of
guest.
Ruby Riot. We brought her in to surprise Sarah Logan.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
maybe we can get them back on and kind of say what's going on. Lana also is another name. that you
Yes,
forgot.
Lana. Yes, I mean, again, had some of her matches. It was a pleasure working with her. And again, it's always a sad occasion when someone gets released, and you know how to feel. I mean, you feel angry, you feel saddened, but at the same token, you're kind of angry too because you're like, damn it, why? Especially when you like them. You wish there could be some type of alternate, around it, but there isn't, unfortunately.
And great thing about pro wrestling is that even though they're gone now, that doesn't mean they can't return to the company, possibly bigger, better than ever. I mean, look at Drew McIntyre. If he hadn't been fired from WWE years ago, he probably wouldn't have done what he needs to be done to be a headliner now.
Just getting let go, even when it surprises you or you're not expecting it, or when you don't want to leave, it gives you a drive that it's unheard of. That you know the way you are. How do I say this? Let me retract this. It get and be successful somewhere else, and then by the time you come back to WWE, you're just that much higher than what you were before you left.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, another big piece here. Continuing on or kicking off the ADA Ask Devon Anything. Thoughts on Mark Henry going to AEW?
Again, another shock. I was shocked, but I'm happy. You know, if Mark can find employment elsewhere and, you know, bring what he brings to the table, I think that's great. Listen, everyone's business has the right to go somewhere else and make a living and be successful. No one has the right to just sit there and sulk in their misery because they got let go. The Bible says when one door closes, another one opens. Get you from the situation that you're in, but he's going to bring you to better pastures. And I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that these guys will prosper somewhere else and be not as, even maybe just as big as they were when they were in WWE.
Yeah, that's right.
And like you said, Taya is a prime example. You know, he was let go from the company. He spent a few years on the indie circuit, got better, got a lot more, matches underneath his belt to help him learn and to get ahead. And now he came back, and he's a main event happens in this business and where you return. You know, when something like that happens, you just never know. You can use it for positive or negative, and they're all using it for positive.
And that can happen anywhere in
There's
life.
no
too.
question.
No.
So it's good to
Anyway,
always
it doesn't have to be
positive.
And it doesn't have to be with, again, one door closes, another one opens.
Mm-hmm.
There's no telling what God has in store for them going on to the next chapter in their life. You know, not everything is so WWE or, you sort of be here because we all know over the years that's not possible. You know, you're not probably going to be there for 20, 30 years. There might be a break in between. But what you do during that break in between, that's up to you as the individual.
Right.
You know, Bubba and I let go. We went out there. We went to Japan. We conquered world titles out there. We went to TNA, helped build that company with their tag team division. And then 10 years later, we came back, to one of the biggest, to one of the returns in the history of the company.
Yep. Exactly. So all of these stars, I think, will be perfectly fine. They're going to land on their feet somewhere else. And now they got a little chip on their shoulder. Now there's a little piss in their veins, which that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Spite can be powerful.
It sure can. Yeah.
But it all depends on how you use that spite. You got to be very wise and use the head. You got to play the game.
Wise.
It's true, though.
All right, Devon, this one may be a little bit tougher for you here. Grant wants to know, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. I got to see some cold cuts in there, not just a hot dog. I got to see some cold cuts in that sandwich. I got to see some lettuce, tomatoes. I got to see lettuce and turkey.
A lot of lettuce.
So much lettuce.
A lot of lettuce, buddy.
A lettuce
lot
sandwich.
of lettuce. Lettuce filling the void when you're still hungry. It fills that empty void of you. It makes you think your stomach is full when you know.
Not me.
Okay. All right. So we heard it.
Mo, you froze.
Mo, it's frozen. It's not me this time.
Wow, that's a first. It's definitely not me.
Hang on. I got to take a picture of this. Hang on. Wait.
This is great. Hold on. I got to take a picture.
We can Okay.
Mo, unfreeze yourself.
Oh, sweet little thing. You're frozen. Oh, but bless your heart. All right. So, Devon, more about wrestling. I'll carry the show. What is that?
You carry it, Lindsay.
What is that noise? Oh, okay. So, when you guys are wrestling, is it live?
What?
Okay. I don't know if you know this, but I don't know a lot about wrestling, but I'm trying to learn. You guys are helping me. So, tell me about your day as a wrestler when you were a wrestler. I'm sorry. I am not a good podcast host. I know it's shocking.
There's a lot of things that you're
Yeah.
asking that I can do in the course of the day leading up
Okay.
to getting into a ring.
All right, well, what do you do to get ready for a match?
Listen to old Rocky 3 themes to
Okay.
get me hyped up and ready to go.
Yeah. Okay.
A couple of push-ups here and there, that works
One or two.
sometimes.
Yeah. Is there like a meal you always ate that for breakfast that was like?
I try to be as healthy, like as clean as I possibly can.
Mhm.
If I basically wrestled every single day, I'd probably be like 100 pounds because that's the only days that I really do clean and I don't cheat. I got to wrestle because you want to look good in front of the camera, in front of the people. So, you don't want to be bloated when the time comes for you to come out
that's
there.
so embarrassing. Oh, being bloated.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's do an ALA. Ask Lindsay almost anything. ALAA.
Okay. Lindsay,
Mm-hmm.
what's in your cup?
Almost anything. So, next question. Just kidding. It is whatever you think it is. It's probably it.
How
Could be
about
water?
Gatorade?
It was
Crystal
Gatorade.
Light?
It was Gatorade. Last week I had blue Gatorade. This week I have white Gatorade.
Oh, look at Mo.
I feel
Are
like
you back?
Devon.
I thought it was me.
When you basically came back on, you kind of looking like this. I thought you were frozen again.
I know, me too.
So the power flickered, and then all of a sudden my internet went out.
That's unfortunate for you.
So I feel like Devon.
Devon was stuck with me trying to lead the podcast.
It was
He
very
didn't take
hard,
over?
though.
If we go down in views and have like -7 people watching this week, it's totally Devon's fault. It's not mine.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to catch up on a whole bunch of questions coming in here. Wants to know: do you still speak with Spike?
Absolutely. I do speak with Spike. Spike is doing very well with insurance. He's got a family that he's enjoying and turning back to pro wrestling. He might make an appearance here and there at an indie show, but for the most part, you won't see Spike in a major storyline again. I don't believe he will.
Okay.
So I don't think that's going to happen.
All right. Daniel wants to know if you could. Nope, that's not it. This one. If you could form a dream tag team out of current active wrestlers, who would you put together and why?
Oh, you guys have such better questions than I had.
Although
know
you
why.
are the professional broadcaster.
Can we get that link?
I'm
Just
going
write
to say
my name, professional.
I would like to say maybe like put and Jay Uso.
Okay.
Like take one Uso, one New Day member, put them together. I think that would be a huge, great team. Well, how about Roman Reigns and how about Roman and Roman and Drew?
Okay.
Roman and Drew.
Thinking so hard.
I don't think we've ever had that type of. I don't think Roman and Drew tagging.
No, I can't recall. No.
Can't
I
recall
don't
either.
think we have. No.
All right. So we knew that we had to get one of these questions in here. Who do you think is the most attractive female wrestler?
Right now
Yeah.
in WWE, well,
Obviously Stephanie McMahon
I was
because
just gonna say.
he's infatuated.
Okay, other than her.
no. You know what? Whatchamacallit?
Oh no, there's that laugh. I don't like it.
Byron says Sonya.
So give Sonya Deville that one. And our women's champion right now on Raw.
You're a Rhea Ripley fan, huh?
I'm a very big. I mean,
Wow.
Rhea is she's a very nice girl. She's very, very nice, very pleasant, respectful. I love her attitude and her demeanor towards the business. It's phenomenal. She's truly a student of the game. And, when you have someone who has a great personality and who's sweet and just nice and genuinely a good for the looks, that definitely adds to the looks.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that about me. I appreciate that.
And I'll be honest with you, she's the first girl I will actually say with all the tattoos and all the piercings. She looks like she can come out of a death metal band. Yeah, she's the first person I ever looked at that had all that stuff going for her. I was like, man, she's actually a very attractive woman. I mean, you got just because you wear dark makeup and you got piercings and all of that doesn't mean that you're not beautiful. I think she's very beautiful. And again, she's, like I said, a student of the game, and her attitude and demeanor makes her even better looking.
Okay. All right. Follow-up question about Rhea Ripley. Do you think she could have made it in ECW?
Absolutely. I think her style definitely would have fit in ECW. Absolutely. Just her look alone, because it was kind of like, I could have seen her with Axel Rodden and Ian Rodden. God rest his soul, Axel. I could have even seen her with Bo in the chair, maybe even with the Gangsters,
Okay.
I guess I could have seen her coming out, running down with the garbage can with New Jack and throwing it in the ring and hitting me over the head with a damn frying pan or a damn toaster like New Jack used to do. Or definitely see Rhea doing that. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, something a little bit heavier, a little bit deeper, something that we figure will probably turn some heads. Scene play, the first one to ask, why has Bubba Ray Dudley never been on the show?
Well, Bubba has his own show. He has Busted Open Radio, so he does his own show. Now, understand, people, a lot of people were going to ask questions about this, but I'm just going to tell you, career, 20 years, going on 21 years of being together, winning world titles, going into every company that we've gone into and created history there, and laid down our foundation. A great ride. It really was, but everything has an expiration date and everything comes to an end. I love Bubba dearly. He's my brother, and what have you. We just like any other brother, we have our issues and things like that, but we get over it and we come. I feel that the Dudley Boys is over. That expiration date landed right on us, and it was time to call it quits. Once and for all. And one day you might see WWE. I pitched this idea to some of the writers because you got like certain shows like VH1 or MTV or even Reels TV where they do like the breaking of the bands and things like that. You can explain the breaking of certain tag teams or people that left the company. I think that'd be a great thing to do, something like that, because again, we had a great run. I think there's a lot of stories that can be told on the road with Bubba and I, definitely interested in and want to know more about. Like I said, there's no denying the chemistry we had with each other. But again, just like all great things, everything comes to an end. And I think Bill Cosby said it best when he was doing the Cosby Show. He said he dropping. He wanted to leave when the ratings were on top. And that's exactly what he did. He left on top. Me and Bubba left on top. And it's just time to move on. So if I happen to return, and I can get my health issues under control, if I could return, it will not be with Bubba because we've already ran that course. Sure. It's time to move on. I'm sure Bubba feels the same way. We didn't sign the contract or do the deal in 2016. That would have kept us going. But, again, everything happens for a reason. I became a producer. I could be doing this for the next 15, 20 years if I keep my nose clean and stay out of trouble and do what I'm told. But
Not
other
gonna
than that, I
happen.
mean, shoot, Lindsay, it ain't gonna happen. Never gonna get it.
No
Yep.
short amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't confirm. I mean, guys, I've said this even after my stroke was over to do, because I've never done it and I've never been in one, was a Royal Rumble. Because every time we were in the company and there was a Royal Rumble, Bub and I always had matches. So I would have loved to have been in a Royal Rumble. I would love to be in a Royal Rumble, but to get back in that ring in WWE, they're going to make sure that everything, their asses are covered in terms of my health, and the stress tests and all of that B crap that I got to go through. I don't know if I want to go through it. I don't know if I want to go through it. So Rumble to 2022 will happen. I mean, again, I got to go through so many hurdles to do it, but
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. He'll be back for the Rumble 2022. Absolutely.
That's what I heard. I also wasn't listening, but I think you will be.
hey, you know what? If God was willing, listen, I could sit here and say no all I want. But if God said, "Oh no, you're gonna be in that Royal Rumble," I guess I'll be in it. But right now, I don't have any plans. I don't have any plans on doing it. Talk to the wife because she's against me getting in the ring. Period. Anyway, so it really ain't my decision.
Does she not like making money? Is that? Yeah.
Well, she's got to put up with the fact when I can't get out of bed and everything hurts. So
She doesn't
she's
want to
gotta
take care
deal
of
with
you and your kids. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Oh God, no! Don't ever get in the ring. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in the Royal Rumble,
get it.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
God watches our podcast.
Yeah.
I promise. This is water. If you want to turn it to wine, that's fine.
He'll turn it into wine. Yep. Not a
Listen,
problem.
if Jesus turned water into wine, God can turn your cup into whatever you feel you want it to be.
Amen. Amen, brother. Testify.
Listen, testify. Do what you got to do. Listen, you only live once. Have fun when you're doing it.
See, I know. Everybody needs to understand that.
A comment from Nathan to Devon. Ask Devon anything. Me has proven that I have the mic skills, but can I wrestle? And do you think you can get me in the ring anytime soon?
Do I think I can get you in the ring anytime soon?
That's what Nathan wants to know.
Well, listen, you and Lindsay are both coming to my house in August, for the podcast. So if you want,
changing my mind about that.
After the threats we received earlier.
I know. I think I have plans that weekend.
you might have plans, but one day you're going to wake up with a Ruby Riott hairdo. Half your head's going to be shaved.
Oh, that's fine. That's kind of cool.
And I may do your eyebrows as well.
Okay.
You know what I figured? If we give you some real strong shit where you don't wake up for like 48 hours for real.
You're gonna drug me?
No,
Why
absolutely.
would you say that on live streaming internet service?
Well, I said I might do that.
I don't think that's what you just said.
Well, either I do it or somebody else will do it.
Oh, you're gonna pay
And
somebody to do
then-
it?
And
I've
then
heard
we'll
that
cut
before.
the eyelashes. I bet you did.
My fake eyelashes? You can have
Yeah, we're
them.
gonna rip
I'll
them
just
off.
buy more. Oh, come on. All this is not even real. This is all makeup. It's all
Mo,
like tricks and mirrors.
Mo, I know Lindsay hasn't seen it. Remember, I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm gonna get you, sucker.
How did
You remember the part when the girl, she looks great and she looks phenomenal, Marlon Wayans, and then all of a sudden she goes, "Wait a minute!" She starts taking off her eyelashes. Then she takes off the wig, and then she takes off the prosthetic legs, and then she's like, "Ah!" And he goes to run. She's like, "Don't make me hop after you. You better come here." That's Lindsay.
Oh yeah. If you push me one more time and I will take my leg off and beat you with my
That's
fake
exactly-
leg.
You know what? That's kind of hot. What can you do with the
Oh
nub?
my god. There's nothing. I can't. I give up.
On a brighter note, Lindsay, what do you want your cup to be turned into?
Well, with these guys, something very strong.
Makes sense.
Listen,
Anything
when
that
you
is strong and I can forget.
Listen, when you come to the house, We're gonna have bottles and bottles of good wine.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay. I like
Just
that.
so you
You know,
know,
the
bottles
cheap
and
shit
bottles.
from Food Lion.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Thank
Taylor,
you. Is that Taylor?
Did I miss the reason why Bubba hasn't joined Devon? Yes, we actually just covered that. You just missed it, Sean. Good thing this show will be available on demand afterwards, so you can go back and check that out. John wants to know, what's your favorite match you've seen this year?
Well, hold on. Let me get back to another question.
Oh.
Taylor, I'm going to tell Taylor she needs to go away.
No.
Don't come on this show.
Why?
Go away.
She's my
The
ally.
best match.
I know which one's the best match of next year, the Royal Rumble.
You know, during my stroke, which happened in November, I really didn't watch a lot of the matches
Well, yeah, you were having a
of
stroke.
the shows. Yeah, so I didn't really watch it. So my thing is, I missed a lot of matches, a lot of good stuff that I heard. Was it Sasha and Bailey at WrestleMania?
Sasha and Bianca.
Bianca, I'm sorry. I think that would definitely be one of the great matches. I mean, again, the build up with Bianca and how really, not mind, but it was really, really cool to see a woman of color, help headline WrestleMania. Not only that, but win the world title, and I mean, that's great. I think for a lot of African Americans out there, that's the way we felt because, again, in this business, it just seemed like a lot of African Americans didn't get their just due. And at that WrestleMania, Bianca Belair got her just due. She's a very, very talented young lady, athletic as hell, and very strong and powerful. And the one thing I love about Bianca, she does her own gear. She doesn't wait for anybody to make her gear. She makes her own gear. And if she has a deadline to have an outfit made by WrestleMania, she ain't got to worry about calling up the scene. You have my stuff ready? Because I will say this, in this wrestling business, the people that make their gear, oh my God, it's like pulling teeth. Oh, I can make it for you. Don't worry about it. I got you. When do you need it by? June. It's the biggest pay-per-view. I got you. Don't worry about it. June 23rd, June 21st comes. Hey, you got my gear? Well, it's not going to be ready yet. Dude, I told you back in February. This is what we go through with the gear. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Everybody should make their own.
So if anybody out there who's a seamstress or knows how to make gear,
oh my God,
listen to what I'm saying. You can make a fortune because there are people out there and they don't do it. So I'm guarantee you, if you can come through and be truthful to your word that you're going to have the gear ready on a certain day, let them know.
Show your Etsy, what's your Etsy store, and then they might select you to make.
Devon's going to need something by next January.
Yes, Royal Rumble.
Listen. If I'm there next January, all I got to do is go to the Army and Navy store and pick up my camos.
You're you can borrow my. Do you want to borrow my shirt? You can. It's camo.
I didn't even know you were wearing a shirt. It was camouflage.
I know.
Either.
I know, guys. I'm wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
It's camo.
Not a question, but a comment that I had to post. Thank you, Chris, for saying that Mo is a legend. That is
how much did you pay him to say that?
Nothing. Come on, I'm broke. I didn't do that.
Did you promise him a shout out?
Nope, I didn't do that. Although this is a good question here. I like this one here. How did Devon, Mo, and Lindsay meet?
That's such a good story.
Well, yeah, I was at a Comic-Con. I believe it was in Cleveland, and who got me in the Comic-Con basically put me and Lindsay together. She was my rep. She was the one that basically took all the money, made sure people were getting in and out of the lines.
Stole the money.
Supposed to.
No. Contrary to popular belief, I did not take money out of the bag for wine.
Well, there was $30. There was 30 cents missing out of one bag.
So
So
I
I'm not
feel
sure
like
what-
you don't
what Lindsay
understand
did
that you
with 30
only
cents.
made 30 cents that day. That was it.
And I never saw a dime of that.
I
That
have
was
to
it.
take my cut. I did all of the work. You obviously don't understand business.
It's true.
That's besides
And
the point.
then, yeah, so I met Lindsay that way. And then Mo used through a young lady who also represented me at some of the Comic Cons. Her name was Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Sup, girl.
Sup, girl? How you doing?
Yeah, so Rachel was very instrumental in getting all of this together, putting us all together to do this
Yeah, she's
podcast.
credit for sure. Yeah.
I was only looking to go on a podcast to help, put the word out there that, I'm out there, I'm doing autograph signings and things like that. Next thing I know, I'm talking to Mo, and Mo was like, yeah, so, I looked at the phone. I was like, no, I'm trying to be on a podcast, not run a podcast. And I just said, oh, forget it, F it. I can just say what I want when I want on the show, so I don't have to worry about it. So I'm good. That's all.
Yeah. And Lindsay and I actually met years ago in passing at Comic Cons. I was a
Yeah.
moderator. She was, again, a handler, an agent, whatever you want to call them.
I
But
feel like I have pictures of a couple of panels that the celebrities I was working with were doing, and Mo's like in the background. It's funny how
yeah.
it comes to a full circle. I don't
So-
remember any of that.
Okay. How much did you pay John to say that we're a podcast super team?
Huh?
A date with Lindsay.
Oh, wow. And he's
Wait.
pimping you out. So he's threatened to groom you. He's
Mhm.
threatened to drug you. And now he's pimping you out.
All right.
Well,
will-
yeah, we got to make the show. Listen,
I'm
we got to
just
get
gonna
the
send
show
this
out
to
there.
my lawyer,
Mo.
make
We
sure
got
it's
to.
all legal before I do anything.
I think there's a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of things you have given to your lawyer as of late.
What?
Ooh.
I
Oh.
can't afford a lawyer. What are you talking about?
Well, on a different note,
Yeah.
moving things forward here, try to get as many comments and answers in as we possibly can. Devon, you were talking about how you were watching the Macho Man, the biography that was on A&E a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, and it kind of stirred up some feelings. Like you almost, it was like looking in a bearded mirror.
Yeah, without the beard, because
That.
when everything as I was watching the Macho Man, we were at the point where, I guess Macho Man, I guess Vince had asked him, I'm a commentator as opposed to wrestling anymore, and I can't even see it. And
You're on.
so when that happened, I basically was looking at it. I'm like, man, it was almost like what happened with me becoming a producer. I mean, I wasn't ready to become a producer yet. Macho Man wasn't ready to become a broadcaster, so he left and went to WCW. At the point in time when Bubba and I had separated, went our separate ways, I was offered the job and I just said, well, I'm not. The only place I want to work for is WWE. AEW wasn't doing anything at the time. I don't even think they had gotten started yet. And there was really nowhere else to go. Impact wasn't doing too well, so they weren't going to pay me the money in Impact. Going to Japan because being on a flight for 17 hours and then being gone for 2 and 3 months at a time, a year, I was like, I don't want to do that either. So I'd rather maybe just stay here and do the producer's job. So again, it was kind of very Savage wasn't ready to hang it up, but yet Vince wanted to put him in the broadcasting booth, and he said no and walked away from it and went to WCW. And I'm not saying that I would have just want to walk away from Vince, but to hang it up to become a producer. I felt that there was still more life in me and I could have wrestled, but I just didn't want to wrestle anywhere else other than WWE. It took me 10 years to get to the WWE after being gone for 10 years. So all business had to be finished. And I wasn't ready to go. I firmly believe that the Reverend Devon character really went very well. And a lot of the fans that basically talk about it, even to this day, that were there during that time. So I look at it this way. I was doing great in that position. We were doing promos and vignettes with Vince. and we were hitting a home run every time. So where it went south, I don't know. Not to mention, one of the things I said, thank him, because if and having a conversation with someone on the main roster during that time, they said Hunter felt like I got the raw end of the deal on the Reverend Devon thing, that I should have gotten another chance. So many years it was giving a gimmick or an opportunity to go flourish. They failed. They came back to the drawing board, and then they went out there and was successful. I never got a second chance on that, So that was one of my biggest gripes about, the whole Reverend Devon thing. I remember one of the matches that I had, the last match I had was with Funaki. And it was indeed, it was a great match. And I felt like I was really coming into my own after that. And then that's when I'm not denying that him and I came together for a reason, whether it was God sent for me to come back or what have you, because after that, we won the titles multiple times after that, had programs with La Resistance, William Regal, and Chief Morley. Then, of course, went to Japan, made our name there, and then TNA, like I said earlier. But I just feel that I never got that second chance to redeem what was wrong, or whoever thought was wrong gave me a second chance to do it. And at that time, there was nowhere for me to go. In other words, at that point in singles, I didn't want to wrestle singles. At that point, I was wrestling wanted to be a tag team. So, it is what it is. I'm here now, so talking about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I got another question here about AEW. If they came calling and said, hey, you should be a manager, would you, take the call? Would you, have a discussion? What would you do?
Well, I would weigh my options.
And that's fair. That's what any good business
Absolutely.
person should do.
Yeah.
If I think Vince said it best so many years, if a man has an opportunity to make more money, to make a better life for his family, if he doesn't look into those options of making the life better for his family, then he's not a real businessman or a man. So I listen to anybody that had an option to make me and my family a better life. Of course I would. No question about it. Whether it be AEW, whether it be Impact, NWA, I mean, whoever, Ring of Honor, in terms of being a manager, listen, I can go and punch somebody from my team and let them get the 1, 2, 3 off of it. I can trip somebody's leg and let my guy fall on top of them and get the win. Absolutely. I can be very instrumental on their victories. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. That's it's good. I love his response to this. So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh,
I didn't say there was a chance. I mean, listen, anybody can have a chance at doing anything if they want, put their minds to it. Listen, you'll be a fool not to listen to what somebody would say to you to try to give you a better life for your family. I'd be foolish not to listen. Yep. So, again, Vince has, he brought me in as a producer, and he gave me a chance to still work for the company. So I'm very grateful for that. Extremely grateful. But again, if an opportunity arises, what would I do? I mean, I'd be a fool not to listen. I can listen to what they have to offer. That's a radio station. And
that's what he's saying. You heard it.
Yep. That's what we heard.
No, you heard that I would be unretired if I was a manager. Be Tully Blanchard. I could be on.
AEW does have a great lineup of influential former stars, greats in the industry. You'd be the next one, man. Could be the next one.
Well, that's about wrestling companies here in the U.S. is that a lot of them don't put the respect on those that have come before the younger talent that's here today. A lot of them like to put them out to pasture and shoot the old guys. Straight with that, they love, the guys that have come before and made history, they treat them like gods. You know, here in
Right.
the U.S., we're the only people in the U.S. here that treat the veterans like shit. I mean, and I'm feel that way. I really feel like there's no. I mean, I understand the youth and what you're doing, but if it wasn't for the old timers that got there before them, there would be no youth movement. You
Right.
know, if we weren't there to show them the ropes, there would be no youth movement. Me and Bubba were very, very respectful to the people that have come before us, whether it was the Brett and Sean era, whether it was the Hogan and Andre era, the Bruno San Martino and Backlund era. We won that came before us. And that's another thing, you know, the younger talent, they don't a lot of them don't do that. I'm not saying it's all, but there's a large majority of the younger talent that have that millennium attitude. Oh, fuck the old guys. They okay. It's like your father. It's like your father when you try to test your dad and he takes you in the back and beats your ass. That's exactly what a lot of these old timers should be doing right now is whooping ass for those that disrespect them. That's how I feel.
All
Without
right.
There you go. There you go. And I apologetically.
and just for the record, there are some younger guys, and you know who you are. I'm not going to sit here and say your names. I'm not going
I'm
to put you on
so
blast.
young.
No, it's wrestlers. You
Oh.
got to ask. You know, you got to ask. It can come into. You got to slap in your face when I see you. So I
You just
hope the
slap me in my
message gets
face?
out.
I'm just kidding.
I hope the message gets out real quick for that.
You heard it from this
You
old timer
heard it.
right here.
Yeah, I agree with this completely, Devon. You are the man, dude.
Thank you.
Man.
You are the man. Well, if you have a question for Devon that I didn't get a chance to put up on screen, at Testify Devon on all the socials, I apologetically have to cut it short again this week because of work.
Oh my
Hopefully,
gosh.
this will wrap up and this will get past us here sooner than later. But Devon, thank you so much for answering all of these questions truthfully, honestly, and very passionately.
I know. I learned so much.
Thank you. You know, one last question. I was talking to somebody on the phone today, Jeff Hardy, and I was saying, you know what? What would happen if a Dudley and a Hardy got together
Hmm.
and did some magic? It's never been done before. And he was like, dude, I love it. I was like, we should think about it because I'd have Jeff do all the crazy crap.
That's probably a good idea. That's probably a
Yeah,
good plan right
yeah.
there. And you just get the hot tag and you don't have to do much. You just clean house.
No, let me get the heat. I'll take the heat on me. I'll get my
Okay.
ass beaten. Make the hot tag to
All right. All right.
make the hot tag to Jeff. It'd be like what me and Bubba used to do. The heat on me.
So does Jeff
know.
get to yell out, Devon, get the tables?
Hmm.
At that point, listen, if Jeff wants to be the daredevil, he can say whatever he wants at that point. Jumping off no scaffold. No am I jumping outside the ring or doing any of that crap. Mm-mm.